I spent some time in the beautiful Hardwood Hammock at Myakka River State Park. And the hike I went on is called Fox's High Trail, which is at the north end of the park, where there are lots of big oaks and cabbage palms. It's a super wet environment this time of year, wet underfoot. And there are tons of mosquitoes if you slow your step down that'll have a meal off of you. Lots of plants along the way, including the smilax vine, which you can see many places this time of year or any time of year around here. Also, lots of the invasive Caesar weed is all along the trail. And then something to really look out for are epiphytes. Here we have the resurrection fern and the golden polypody, which tend to grow along with other things like Spanish moss. There's a shoestring fern, which typically you see growing off of palm trees along the way. It's great to look up in the canopy and to see all the epiphytes or air plants growing there. Spanish moss, the southern needle-leaf air plant, which is also in the Tillandsia family. Something also to notice, the wild coffee. That's velvet-leafed wild coffee. So Psychotria family. I love looking up close at these live oak branches to see the southern needle-leaf air plant and the resurrection ferns, which are green because it's rained recently, and the lichen. So you can see the pink Christmas lichen. There are lots of common names for that. And something to also notice are the butterfly orchids. You could see butterfly orchid leaves right there. They only bloom in May and June. There's a blooming picture for you. And those are kind of fun. More Caesar weed. Lots of saw palmetto along the way. There's and lots of ground fern. Not quite sure what kind of fern that is. Again, very muddy trail. Water oak, common in the wetter areas. But mostly we're seeing live oaks around here, but there's a water oak plant. Again, saw palmetto, cabbage palm. It really looks different at different times of year. This runs along a stream on the right, which doesn't even exist. There's some sensitive pea, romarillo, and I think trailing daisy. That's romarillo. I think trailing daisy on the ground. And then looking up at a live oak, I was happy to see a giant air plant, which is the Tillandsia utriculata, which is threatened now by the Mexican bromeliad weevil. And also along Clay Gully was an alligator. Typically there are some alligators in here. And it seems like mothers like to have their babies along here. So I've gotten some great baby alligator pictures. You should bring your attention to the on palm trees. They're little ecosystems of different mosses and lichen, etc., growing there. It's a remarkable place, like no other, and my favorite part of Myakka River State Park.